Konami Studios.
We have reached the end of 2020, and in doing so, we left behind one of the worst years in history. Well, in modern history, probably in a long time. It's been one of the worst years ever. Bad year for movies, too. Kind of sad the stuff that was released. Some of it was pushed back a lot, and we didn't get everything that was supposed to come out in the year. So, because of that, I didn't do my favorite movies of the year. I figured, what's the point? I've liked only a handful of movies this year. I'll list them for you right now. I liked Mank, I liked The Five Bloods, I liked Birds of Prey, I liked Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, I liked On the Rocks on Amazon. That's about all of them. Wonder Woman 84, it's fine. So instead of doing my best of the year, I figured let's get excited for stuff coming out in 2021. We got a lot of stuff pushed back to this year, so there's a lot of exciting stuff we can talk about. So I made my list of the 10 movies coming out this year, or are rumored to be coming out this year. Nothing confirmed. Well, so I think they're all pretty much confirmed now, but I'm just going to be hesitant in case we have another schedule pushed back and something moves into 2022, or is indefinitely pushed off. I will be hesitant to say one or the other, but these are the list of 10 movies, my 10 most anticipated movies coming out in the year 2021. And let's just jump right into it. Starting off, we have The Beatles Get Back. Now, they released a teaser for this on Disney+. I'm not sure if that's where the home of this movie is going to be, if they're actually going to release it on Disney+. But just let me sell you on this. There is 56 hours of a studio session of the Beatles when they were recording one of their most prolific albums. And Peter Jackson is going to be going through all that footage and making an actual documentary based on it. It's going to be in color. It's going to be very interesting to see how that's going to look. And as somebody who's a big fan of the Beatles, how could I think it's going to be dumb? I think it's going to be really fun just to see what that world's going to look like in those colorful, vibrant ways that we've seen him. What did he do? Jackson did that war documentary. I can't remember the name of it, but he did that war documentary in these new colors. So it's going to be very exciting to see the Beatles in that format. It gets me very pumped to see what this documentary is going to be. And of course, it's one I cannot wait to see. If you love the Beatles, this is going to be one of those quintessential Beatles movies. I think that's going to be really fun to see. And the other one here, we have The Green Knight. Now, this movie was pushed back till 2021. It's supposed to come out in the summer of last year of 2020. This looks great. I just really like this niche kind of style. Let's focus on one of the less known knights of the round table. We'll focus on his story, how he interacts in this bigger world, the mystic behind it all. You got a great cast, a great looking cinematography. Everything about this one just looks great. It's one of the ones I really wanted to see in 2020. One of the few movies I probably would have risked my safety to go see if theaters were open where I was. I'd be like, this looks so good. It's just so dry and creepy. There's a weird aura coming about from it, and it looks so fun. I cannot wait to see this one. I think this is going to be one of those top movies that come out in a year. That's just going to be so cool to see. It's nice to have a story set in that time period that's going to explore a little bit different characters than your King Arthur. Let's focus on somebody else and do some weird shit with it. That's going to be really cool to see. That's awesome. So The Green Knight, I cannot wait to see that one. And the other one here, I think I put this on my list for 2020 too. It's Last Night in Soho, which is the newest Edgar Wright film. I still don't know anything about this one, but I'm still eagerly awaiting to see what he's going to do. Edgar Wright's a guy, he's hit or miss for me. Consistently, though, I've liked what he's done. I don't think he's produced a bad quality film. Sometimes I think it's a little weird or different, but I don't think he's made anything terrible. I'm very curious to see what this is going to look like, if it's going to be something cool or unique, and how it's going to play into his whole aura of how he makes stuff. So I was very curious to see what that one's going to look like. I like the guy. I'm very curious to see his scripts and everything he does. So Last Night in Soho, that's obviously going to be at the top of my list. Now, a surprising one in this place too is Cruella. I wasn't expecting to be as curious about this movie as I am. But I like Emma Stone. Her doing this weird gothic beauty thing in a 70s fashion world literally screams, this is perfect for me. I love everything about that idea. I'm kind of I'm a low's the wrong word. I really like the fashion industry, especially in that time period where everything were these bright colors and trying to figure out what's sells and what's sexy but still classy in that era. I love that stuff. So you have Emma Stone as a classic Disney villain in that era. That's perfect for me. I cannot wait to see what that's going to look like. I love a good period piece when you're going to do something in the fashion world too. That's really fun. That sounds awesome. So I cannot wait to see what this film is going to look like. Cruella, one I wasn't expecting to put on my list, but just seeing all the people talking about it at the Disney Expo recently and seeing those pictures we saw of her in costume, I'm like, I gotta admit, I'm hyped for this. This might be the one Disney movie that makes me go like, I can't wait. I can't wait. So that's really fun. I can't wait to see Cruella. Now, my other one here, I don't think we got an official title for this movie yet, because when I was checking IMDb, it was called Untitled Elvis Presley Movie. So this is the one that has Tom Hanks. I think it's got, is it Austin Butler that's playing Elvis himself? It's one of the ones that it's coming to HBO Max, that they did their whole slate of like things coming to HBO Max in the theater. Look, we live in an era, love it or hate it, where we had successful movies for the band Queen or Freddie Mercury at the least. We had a great Elton John one. Let's do Elvis. Elvis is pretty much the rock star who brought everybody into that style. So I very much like to see that world. You got Tom Hanks playing his manager. I'm like, that is cool. More of that, please. I would love to see more of that kind of style. I love a nice biopic that isn't probably going to focus on like an entire life story. Pick a niche thing to focus on, and that's going to be a cool thing. So having it be about the actual manager for Elvis instead of it being like Elvis being like this guy who we should idolize and worship. Let's see the behind the scenes, the drama that the manager gets in to make that guy look good. That's cool. That is something I cannot wait to see. So yes, it's on my list. And surprisingly enough, there's not a lot of franchise on my list. There's a couple of things here. One of them was this one. That is the G.I. Joe Origins movie for Snake Eyes. Now, I really want to see this because I want a good G.I. Joe movie. We haven't gotten one. I'm just very curious to see what it's going to be. Henry Golding's fantastic. He seems like he's very invested in doing this property right. I saw Samara Weaving is going to be playing Scarlet, so that's kind of cool. The guy from Warrior, whose name escapes me, is going to be playing Storm Shadow, so I'm on board. I think I could tie this one maybe with my excitement for the Mortal Kombat movie, though we haven't seen anything for the Mortal Kombat movie. At least for Snake Eyes here, we have seen some behind the scenes of the choreography, and it looks great. I love Henry Golding. It was only a matter of time before this guy got his big franchise to lead. This seems like the perfect one to do it, so I'm pumped to see that. I'm really pumped to see that. And next on my list, we got one that again, this is another one like Cruella where I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to love this or something I know I want to see, and it might let me down in the long run, but that's In the Heights. Now, In the Heights, I don't know anything about. I try to stay clear of all that information. Is this the one Lin-Manuel Miranda worked on? I can't remember or not, but I'm just like, bring back this era of musicals, man. I love me a good musical. I want more of it, like full-on big set pieces, choreography off the wazoo, go crazy with your musicals. Give me some more of them. So In the Heights, it looks like it's going to be that kind of like low rent's the wrong word. It's going to be like that street level kind of energy. Everyone's going to be very excited. It feels a lot like it's going to be West Side Story, which leads us into my next movie, West Side Story. So I recently watched the original movie. I still think it holds up. I think it's a great story, something we will definitely come back and talk about on the channel. I'm so excited for a reboot. Look, Spielberg he's been bad lately, I'll say it. But I just think this is something that you could tell he grew up on, so there's going to be a level of respect to it that he's going to be very excited about, and I'm very, very excited to see how that's going to look. Love or hate him, I'm not a big fan of Ansel Elgort. I don't think he's going to capture the right energy for the lead of Tony. But I'm very excited to see the rest of the cast. I can't wait to see how they're actually going to do this. We're not going to have a Natalie Wood type playing a Puerto Rican, so I can't wait to see that. Like, no white people playing Puerto Ricans here, so that's exciting. Again, we're in an era where I think musicals are going to make a big comeback, so In the Heights and West Side Story are definitely ones I do want to see. I cannot wait to see what those look like. I'm just a musical guy. We'll definitely be talking about my favorite musicals on an upcoming episode of the Geek Wave this year sometime, but I love it. Very excited to see those. Now, this was going to surprise a lot of people. There's only one superhero movie on my list, and I dare say it's hardly a superhero movie. That, of course, is Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Now, Marvel's very weird for me this year. I think where they're going to succeed is going to be in television. I think WandaVision, Loki, Falcon and Winter Soldier, Hawkeye, Miss Marvel, those are going to do gangbusters. I don't know if Black Widow, Eternals, or Shang-Chi are going to be moneymakers. But out of any of them, the one I'd want to see the most would be Shang-Chi. Because if it's going to have a tournament-style feel, which the rumor is, that's awesome. That's very Mortal Kombat, which is awesome. But if it also is trying to be like an old-school kung fu movie in terms of like the camera movements and the way the characters act or react to situations, that's awesome too. I love when we can get very specific in an idea of a movie we're making and doing a kung fu movie in a superhero setting. That sounds great. Simu Liu's a guy, I love him. I love him a lot. Kim's Convenience is great. I really like that guy. I'm very excited for him to have this chance and this opportunity. So I'm very pumped to see what this movie could look like, because it's the only superhero movie this year where I'm like, this could actually be something unique. You know, say what you will about Black Widow or Eternals or Justice League or Suicide Squad. Shang-Chi could actually be doing something that Black Panther did and actually do something creative and different than what we've seen previously. That excites me. That makes me happy. So I have one film left to talk about, and that is the newest from Wes Anderson. I think this one was also supposed to come out this year, but that's The French Dispatch. Look, it's just the guy doing what he's best at. Something weird and quirky. An all-star cast. It is about time we see Chalamet work with this guy. Has he worked with him before? I can't even remember now. He probably has, now that I say it. I'm very excited for this. This could be something unique and different and bizarre and just off the wall, all around a Wes Anderson film. That makes me happy. That excites me to no end. So that is very cool to see. I'm glad we're getting another Wes Anderson movie. There's a lot of people on this list I'm seeing now that are like, these are actual like directors, you know? Anderson, Spielberg, Edgar Wright. I mean, all these people are directors. Peter Jackson too. Like, all these people are directors, but those are named directors doing some cool projects that you wouldn't be expecting from them. So that makes me happy. I really like that idea, and I cannot wait to see what all of these turn out to be. So let me know in the comments, what do you guys think about this list, or what are you most excited for in 2021? Maybe I'll come back and do an episode talking about television, but I'll say right now, the only thing I really want to see this year is Ted Lasso. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, Patreon, Twitter, all that good stuff, and I will catch you in the next one. Have fun, stay safe, good luck.